Oh, hello. The Works here with a how-to video for a 2008 Ford Taurus SEL. I don't think the addition matters. I think the engines are the same regardless. I didn't see very many videos out there on how to do this, and the ones I did find want you to go through the passenger side fender well, take off the tire, take apart the ball joint. No, absolutely not. I found another way. It's probably already out there, but I couldn't find it. Remove the fan shroud and then slowly but surely wiggle it out, and just don't hit your radiator and mess up your blades of your radiator, and you're fine. How that's done, I'm not going to go into too many details, just give you the basics. When you're working on anything electronic in the car, disconnect your battery. You only have to disconnect the negative terminal side, and on this Ford Taurus, it's an 8mm nut you just got to loosen. Disconnect the negative terminal, put it out of the way so it doesn't come back into connection. It's right here, if you didn't see it. Here's your nut, you loosen that, pull it off, push it down here out of the way. Alright, in order to get to the fan shroud bolts, which are going to be two 8mm bolts, you're going to have to first remove your air box. It's sitting right here. This is what it looks like. It'll be sitting right there on top. Boom. This will be all in your way. This will be here. This is the part that actually holds the bolts that hold the whole thing in place. You remove those three 8mm bolts, and then loosen your hose clamp right here. It's also an 8mm or a flathead screwdriver. Three 8mm bolts right here. Pull that out of your way. Disconnect your mass airflow sensor from it, because you won't be able to move it if it's still connected. That'll mess your wires up. Alright, then you'll be able to get to your two 8mm bolts that hold your fan shroud in. Again, you won't be able to get to this driver's side one unless you remove that air box first. The passenger side will be easy enough to get to. After you do that, it's a lot of wiggling. You want to put your radiator hose out of the way. Just top radiator hose, can't remember the terminology. All this little wiring, this tubing of wiring, I'm going to push it up out of the way too. Something I didn't notice at first, but will give you trouble, is this radiator hose right here. It will get you. It'll stop you. It'll hang you up. Just get down here, put a little pressure on it, get it out of the way, wiggle that fan shroud out. There's one connection to it. Just disconnect that. It's easy enough. You can push it with your thumb and pull it apart. Wiggle it out, put it out of the way. Then you'll get over to your alternator, and it doesn't matter. I don't see it mattering whether you pull your tensioner pulley and remove the belt first, or you do your bolts of your alternator first. It doesn't matter. If you do the bolts first, here you go. It's going to be a 15mm bolt for the bottom. That's easy enough. And the top is actually a piece of all thread. This will be screwed in through the little brackets of the alternator. This nut, another 15mm, will be on top of that. You remove the nut first with the 15mm, come in, then you have a 7mm. You just get your 1/4" drive 7mm socket and just pull that out. Now your alternator is ready to wiggle out. It's going to be tough wiggling it. Just work at it and be easy. In order to get the alternator to come out, you can't have that serpentine belt holding it in place anymore. Your tensioner pulley is right, there. Okay, that's going to take a 3/8 drive. You get it in there. I'd suggest highly, unless you have a really long handle of this thing, use your cheater bar, pry it towards the front of the car. It will loosen the belt. You can move the belt off the actual pulley of the alternator. And once you have that, you'll wiggle out. You wiggle the alternator out. It's going to be tough. Be careful, because you got some AC lines you don't want to hit. You don't want to put too much pressure on those radiator hoses and pinch one and cut it or something. Wiggle it out slowly but surely. Get it out. It'll come out right here. Boom. You're done. And to put the new one back in, do the exact opposite. Do it all backwards. Boom. Bolts or fan belt are first, or serpentine belt first. Doesn't matter. get it all in place. Fan shroud back in. Put your bolts back in your fan shroud. Put your air box back in. Connect all of your little wiring harnesses. Connect those back together. Tighten all your stuff back up. Hook your battery back up. And I'm not sure on these Ford Tauruses. This is an 08. I'm not sure if it's going to require you to reset the computer via turning the key on and off. Some cars do that, some don't. Some just automatically store the idle data or the whatever. But that's it. It's really that easy, guys. You can turn a $400 to $500 job into just whatever it costs for the alternator, and a little bit of time and maybe a couple cuts, a couple bruises, greasy hands. Honestly, that's a lot of money you save right there. Anyway, if you like this video, like and subscribe, please. The LC works. YouTube, whatever. Share it with your friends, whoever needs this help. Anyway, bye guys.